Yeah. What up, baby? The block with capital P and the O.G Chino, Big Desire. You're listening to East Village Radio. We got my man, the mighty Mike C from the Fearless Four in the house. We really need no introduction. It's been a long time, yo. We've been working a long time to get you on the show, first and foremost.
Yeah, I like I said, man, I've been trying to get down here, been trying to get to the show.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things happen here and forth and whatnot, but, you know, let it all be known that I finally did make it down here. I bought my man, my first the first DJ that ever DJ'd for me in my life, and he's still down with me. He's one of the Fearless 4 DJs now. My man, DJ Graham, man. My Treacherous 3 DJ, and he's down with the Fearless 4. Also, my man Dano B. If you listen to new rap language, they spell out Dano B. And my man, the straight up promoter, my man Rich. I don't even want to say the, you know, my man last name, but I call him Rich. But he my man. He manages my man P Swag, and that's another artist coming out. We're gonna talk about him later. But for those that don't know, the Fearless 4 is back together. You know, the rumors is true. We back together. We doing our thing. We doing a little shows, little tours and whatnot. We getting everything together. Me, Tito, D.O.B. and Peso. So just look for it. We coming through. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, why don't we tell the listeners how you guys started out as a group?
All right, what happened was, I was down with this crew called the Rock City Crew. It was about 11 to 12 of us. You know, I made a little name for myself with that. And what led to that is, you know, Rock City broke up. I got down with this crew called The Family. We finally made a record. What we did was we made a record off the same track Spoonie G made his record off. What was that record Spoonie made? Spoon and Rap. So we made something off of that track. After that, I got my little celebrity going in. So I was like a local celebrity. What happened was I did a talent show, and I rocked the talent show. So the next year they wanted me to do it again, and what I wanted to do was bring other people in. So I had auditions, and with the auditions came Tito and DLB. They won the audition, so we had like 3 men. All right, so then Peso was there, so Peso was down. Now, mind you, I was not a member of the Fearless 4 at this time. They had another guy named Mike Ski. They formed the Fearless 4.
Okay.
When I got down, we became the Fearless 5. Mike Ski left because he had other things in mind, you know, he was following other dreams, and then we became the Fearless 4. Once we became the Fearless 4 and got ourselves perfected, we started going around to different parties, people playing outside and whatnot. We started getting on and getting a little name for ourselves. Treacherous 3, you know, we grew up with them, Kumo D and Special K.
Yes.
They was feeling us, so they kept telling us, listen, because they had just started making their records. They had made Body Rockin' at the party, and they was like, oh, listen, why don't y'all go over to Enjoy and just talk to Bobby. Bobby was not trying to hear us at all.
Bobby Robinson.
Bobby Robinson, I love that man like breakfast, but he was not trying to hear us, you know what I'm saying? So me and Tito, what we did was instead of going to school, I would leave the house and tell my mom I was going to school. I was going to the house, I was like, Mom, I'm on my way to school. And I didn't even go to school. I would go to Bobby's office and just sit there, me and Tito, every single day, just sit there. And he had a secretary named Spanky, a male secretary. Spanky would let us in the office. Finally, one day, Spanky told Bobby, why don't you just listen to him? Me and Tito got on and did the routine to It's Magic. Once he heard us, he said, there's more, yo? We said, yeah, it's 4 of us. From there, it's history right there. He said, I'll tell you what, y'all come back, y'all in the studio on Tuesday.
And what year was that?
This was 19, I believe, 81 or 82. I'm not quite sure. You gotta look at the record to see. You know, I'm 44 years old now. You know, times have passed. You know, I can't remember everything.
We don't want to date you, but this is a show designed to celebrate cats like you. You guys in the group who've done it in the early years and who did it greatly. You know, you guys really put down a sound that was really sonic and electrifying. And you know, there were so many great songs that you guys did. This ain't about other artists right now. This is about the Fearless and Mighty Mike.
I feel you.
You guys lay down. That album was very. Not only was it unique, but it was classic in that 4 MCs, and you guys killed it. You had originality on the album. You had a lot of different.
Hold on. A lot of flavor on it. An album? Was there an album? I don't have it.
All right, hold on. You know he meant the single, the LP thing, but you know I like to give props to Pumpkin. That's the guy that played the music.
Yeah.
You know, God bless the dead. Pumpkin is gone now, but he's still with us through the music that you hear. You know, what we did when we made It's Magic and Rockin' It. Even when we made It's Magic, what we used to beat on the walls. You know. At the tables in school, you know, we used to beat on the tables and do rhymes off of that. and I used to play What's Dog or Donut. If you listen to It's Magic is What's Dog or Donut.
Oh, wow.
You know, so we made It's Magic off that. We made Rockin' It. We used Rockin' in the Pocket. And the Kraftwerk, one of the records from Kraftwerk, you know, they go do-do-do-do. And they go boom, 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 boom. And we told Pumpkin that, and Pumpkin just came up with this, and we was like, nah, make it a little higher, make it a little lower. Once we got the sound we wanted, it was history.
It was a great record.
Well, he was originally the drummer, right?
Yeah, Pumpkin was the drummer, the bass player, the synthesizer. He played everything.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's known for the drums, right?
He was known for the drums.
He's the king of the beat.
King of the beat.
King of the beats, absolutely.
That's what they call him, Pumpkin, the king of the beats.
And he laced y'all in a way, you know what I mean? Like he was saying, that album, you know, y'all was really setting trends in a lot of ways all across the country, all over the world.
Yeah.
It ended up, you know, cats in Tokyo wanting to dress like y'all.
Yeah, the fashion of that Problems of the World cover, man. Yeah, let's talk about that.
The leather ties and all that.
All right, all right. All right, see, back in the day, all that shit was in style. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
No,
it
I want
was in style.
I know y'all feel me.
In New York.
Hey, I used to wear boat shoes, you know, topsiders.
No. It was in style. It was
No
the 80s
socks.
classic style.
80 classic.
But see, when it's captured on the album cover, it's like even for the late 80s, that was the early 80s when it's captured like Rakim Paid in Full.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many people looked at that album cover for like, you know, forever? If you was around there, you stared at it, and that was like y'all joint. You know what I'm saying? For that time.
Back then, see what it was is hip-hop groups just wore what they wanted to wear back then. We wanted to be unique. So what we did when we first got our first advance money, the first thing we did was go to the leather store and buy us leather suits. We said, let's all get red leather suits.
I was going to ask, who picked the red? Who picked the red?
I'm not even sure.
That was fire.
You know,
the red was fire. Back then, red
everybody
was
got,
fire.
A lot of people got pictures of us with the red leather suits, but we also had the blue leather. We had black leather. We had gray leather. We had green leather. We had basically every color leather.
Somebody said Jerry curls, but
we had the Jerry
curls. I was in LA.
I know Kev Steve. I know my man Grandman said Jerry curls. We had the Jerry curls, so did he.
Now, I was in LA when I was buying that record. That's the record that made me realize that people in New York also had Jerry curls.
You know, sending those messages and to listeners in the UK, to Paris, all over the world. Keep sending us those emails, and you know, we'll continue to send them back. This is the block, capital P.
Can I give a shout out?
Oh, absolutely.
I gotta give a shout out to my man Dre, who got me down here. My man Young Rich. I gotta give a shout out to my man Kenny Graham, and to my daughter Molisha, who's in labor right now. Baby, don't worry, just push. Baby gonna pop out, you know, stop panicking, push.
Wow, big congratulations on that, man, that's big.
This is my fourth grandchild, you know. I know I look young and I still got my swag, but I am a grandfather.
We appreciate that. Hip-hop has kept you young.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to get back into the last joint and run out of here. This is the block with capital P, O.G Chino. You're listening to East Village Radio. Check us out next week, Friday, 10 to 12 every week. Tune in. Peace.
One. East Village Radio, real hip-hop.
Everybody get